Hello there guys, this is Dino Man here, and today we will be taking a look at the new Beasts of the Mesozoic Raptor series, as I don't think anyone has said their thoughts and opinions on these figures yet. So let's break that silence today and do it on them. So for those of you who don't know, just like a little bit of history real fast, Beasts of the Mesozoic is being created by a guy named David Silva. Hopefully I'm pronouncing your last name right. I'm very sorry if I'm not. But he is making these. They're very accurate and they have lots and lots of articulation in them that allows you to get for really nice realistic poses. Now as of this video's creation, not all of these are out yet, though a few things are out. Like I think some of the accessory packs are out and the Build-A-Raptor kits are out. So if you want to get those, then get those. And there are some reviews on the accessory kits and the Build-A-Raptor sets because they're out and people have been reviewing them. So let's take a look at the Raptor series, the first series that Beasts of the Mesozoic is ever doing. So first up here we have their Velociraptor mongoliensis. This thing looks gorgeous. They all look gorgeous. Well, most of them at least. And this is one I'm definitely planning on getting, just simply because it's a Velociraptor and it looks amazing. The coloration I believe is based on a bearded vulture, because I'm pretty darn sure that they're all based on some kind of modern living bird for the color scheme, and this definitely looks like a bearded vulture to me as far as the coloration goes. This figure looks very, very nice. I like it a lot. But yeah, this is gorgeous. But one of the things is these are all fairly expensive. They're all 1/6 scale, which is why there won't be any like Utah Raptors showing up here, because if you were gonna make a 1/6 scale Utah Raptor, that thing would be like 3 feet long. But these are about a foot long and about 6 inches high or so. So because of that, they are fairly expensive, slightly expensive-ish. So I definitely don't think I'll be able to get all of them, but I definitely want most of them, if not all of them. So anyway, so that's the Velociraptor, and now moving on to the next one. Now here is the Raptor marshalli, and this also looks pretty good. I definitely want it. I don't think I'll get it because it's not super high on my list. But definitely looks very, very nice. I like the black, I like the red on like the wingtips. The overall design looks pretty good. And I've never heard of this dinosaur before, so I really like this a lot. The base looks pretty nice too, having like this nice mossy green and this brown. This thing definitely looks very nice. Now, for another raptor I've never heard of. I believe this is pronounced the Tasagna Magnus. I'm probably butchering that name quite a bit, so if you know how to pronounce it, feel free to tell me. But this one also looks really good. The coloration, I recognize the bird that's based off of. I can't think of what it looks like exactly or what it's called, but I'm pretty darn sure I know what bird it's based off of. But it does look very, very nice. I especially like the primary feathers. I think the primary feathers on this figure have been done really, really well. I like the overall color scheme. This is definitely one that if I had the money and didn't really have any other figures to get, I definitely might consider getting this one because it is very nice. Now actually going back to this one again real quick, I actually looked down in the information section, because this does have an information section on their pre-order site. This guy is apparently pronounced Sargan Magnus. I wasn't even close, so that's definitely a good thing that I looked down there. So this is their Sargan Magnus, not their Tasagna or whatever I pronounced it as. Next up is their Velociraptor osmulcusque. I hope I'm pronouncing that last part right. But this is the other species of Velociraptor, the much lesser known species that's kind of overshadowed by Velociraptor mongoliensis. This, the color scheme is okay. I just don't like the red very much. There's just something that's not super appealing about it to me, and the blue eye mixed with the red just doesn't look as good as it could have been, but at the end of the day, that's just me. Other than the color scheme, there doesn't really seem to be anything wrong with this figure in my opinion. Again, I don't think I'll get this one. This is one of the very few that I don't have any interest in getting, just because I don't like the color scheme on this guy very much, and there's already enough of these that I want to get. So I'm gonna pass on this one, personally. Next up is the Soar Ornitholestes Sullivani, and this is one I definitely recognize the color scheme of. It's based on the secretary bird of Africa. If you don't know what a secretary bird is, like has a crane body with like a hawk head. It's very weird, but this is definitely based on that coloration, and I think it looks very, very nice on this figure, especially with the nice crest, because secretary birds did have that crest, and I think this flows in really nicely with the figure. It looks really good in my opinion. I really like this figure quite a lot. Next up is Balar Bondok, which looks very nice. At least according to the information description underneath the picture of the creature, this one is actually a bird that was once thought to be a dromaeosaur. Again, at least that's according to that. Not sure how accurate that is, but it definitely would seem, by level of accuracy that he's going for with a lot of these figures, I would suspect that is probably pretty accurate. But one of the crazy things about this thing is, as this image right here shows, this thing doesn't just have one killing claw, it's got two. What the heck? I didn't think any raptor or raptor-like thing had the dew claw become like a killing claw as well. That is just insane. But ignoring that for a second, and looking at the rest of the figure, it looks very nice. It has this nice black coloration with these blues kind of on the back of its neck. This one has very long primary feathers. A lot of these raptors have kind of shorter primary feathers, which I'm okay with, but this one is very long, which I like. I like long primaries on my raptors. Those look very nice on them. So yeah. Next up is the Adasaurus mongoliensis. This is another one I immediately recognize the coloration of. I'm pretty darn sure this coloration is based on a red-tailed hawk, because the coloration and where the spots are really truly does remind me of a red-tailed hawk. So I'm pretty sure that's what this is based on. And overall, the overall sculpt is very nice as well. It has a very like fluffy neck region, which is great. That's amazing. And yeah, there's not necessarily a whole lot to say on a lot of these other than that they're very nice looking. Next up, this one I know for sure I will be getting. This one, in my opinion, has the best color scheme of all of them. This is the Dromaeosaurus albertensis, and this color scheme is just outstanding. Again, I think I recognize the bird that's based on, but it just looks amazing in my opinion. I mean, I'm going to get this figure. I know I am. Because just look at this thing. It's just... it's so incredible. It's so amazing. I love this thing a lot. This is at the #1 spot on my list of the figures to get from this lineup. This looks outstanding, in my opinion. Outstanding. I can't really define what it is. And also it looks like it has feathers that run all the way down to the toes, which is very nice, very neat. It has like this nice red eye. It just looks amazing. That's all I can really say. It's amazing. Good job. Good job, David Silva. This is just amazing. Outstanding. 10 out of 10 job. 12 out of 10 job. There you go. This is, in my opinion, incredible. Next up is the Archaeoraptor Tematurum. I probably butchered that species name, but this is obviously based on the blue-footed booby bird, which is a seabird. For those of you who don't know, that is blue feet, which is where it gets its name. This, I will probably get this one. This is the second one on my list, personally, just because the color scheme in the blues, though I don't think the blues are, like, incredibly naturalistic, they really stand out on this figure, and I like this figure a lot for those blues it has. Next up is the Zenulong Suni, and this one also looks very nice. The color scheme I'm not super duper fond of. This one's definitely not incredibly high on my list, but I do like the fact that it has, you know, the really long wing feathers, because again, I don't know, there's just something about long wing feathers on raptors that I really like. Next up is the Pyroraptor Olympus, which apparently means Fire Thief of Olympus. That's quite a name, ain't it? Anyways, as far as this figure goes, its coloration is obviously based on that of a golden eagle. This is another coloration that I just can immediately recognize. Again, this one's very nice. Next is the Linhoraptor Exquisitus. I have never heard of this one. And the coloration, boy, is that a bold coloration right there. This is probably the most colorful of all these raptors that are coming out. I believe it's based on the bee eater that lives in Africa. But as far as the figure goes, looks very nice. Like those primary feathers, those are very cool. This one's not super high on my list. The coloration, while it is bright, is not so bright that it's just like you can't even look at it. I know this is some people's favorite. It's definitely not my favorite personally, but is it a good figure? Yes. Now we're into the 4 fan choice winners. These I'm going with were all voted for by the fans for the coloration and which ones they wanted, I guess. All of these are the same genus with one different species, but they're all the same genus of previous ones. So anyway, here is the Dromaeosaurus. This one, I like the other one's coloration a lot more than this one. But this one's coloration definitely ain't bad. Definitely isn't as amazing as the other one, but there's definitely nothing really to complain about. Now is for the other coloration of the Pyroraptor. Again, these I'm sure all have the same body plan, just a different color scheme. I like the other one's color scheme better, but that's just me. This one definitely has, you know, different stuff to put there. Definitely looks very nice though. Nothing super wrong with the color scheme, though I definitely prefer the one that's based on the golden eagle instead. Now for another one that I really want to get, just because simply it's a Roadrunner. I mean, let's be honest, that is the most Roadrunner-y Roadrunner I have ever seen in my life. It's like, you know, with the whole dino chicken thing that people are trying to, you know, give a chicken like an alligator snout and like long claws and all this stuff. This, if you did that to a Roadrunner, you would get this thing. I mean, this is amazing. This is the Sauornitholestes. Now this one, the top says it's a different species. It says this is Sauornitholestes langstoni instead of sullivani. But down in the description, it still says it's a Sauornitholestes sullivani. So I don't know if there was a mistake there in the name, or which one there is a mistake for, but regardless of the name, this thing, I love this figure. This is another one that I'm definitely planning on getting, just because it's a Roadrunner. Enough said, it's a Roadrunner. That completely justifies my choice of buying this thing. Now is for another coloration of the Zenulong Suni. And this one I like better. I don't think it's the best color scheme, but I definitely think it's a lot better than the other one. If I'm going to get a Zhang or however you say this thing's name, I will probably end up getting this one. Again, this one does look very nice. Next up, we're on the accessory packs, which are still a little costly, though they do look very nice, and they contain their own little figure that's a bit more of a normal size figure. These ones are about 7 inches long. First up is the Wetlands one, which, I mean, look at the texturing of that water right next to that dinosaur nest. That is just gorgeous. And this other little raptor called a Raptor, something along those lines. I'm butchering that very hard, I know. But this one's coloration and design does look fairly nice, fairly decent, if nothing else. I don't know if I'll get any of these small little accessory packs, but definitely if you want like a nice small little wetland thing, then by all means get this. Now is for the desert accessory pack, and this one has a Mononychus, which is super cool because if you don't know, Mononychus only has one claw on its arm, which is super cool. This is not a raptor, but still, that is very neat. This is the only Mononychus figure that I currently know of. So if you want a Mononychus, get this. Now granted, you're getting a lot of extra stuff. Like you're also getting a dead Protoceratops skull. But you'll get your Mononychus. Or I guess maybe you could like wait and see if someone's just like selling the Mononychus itself on eBay or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, this also looks pretty good. Now is the Forest accessory pack with a Microraptor included. This one is gonna, I'm pretty sure is about the same size as the Safari one. So if you want to get another little accurate Velociraptor to go with your Safari one, get this one. And I'm pretty darn sure that this one actually has iridescence on its feathers. So, you know, if you want a nice little iridescent Microraptor, then I would get this one. And now for the last accessory pack, the Mountain accessory pack. And this one comes with a small little Troodon. This is very interesting. This is probably my favorite of these small little figures, the Troodon. Definitely looks very nice. It's very fluffy. It looks, I think it's based on like a snowy owl or something like that. It's very good. A very, very nice little figure. I say little, it's like 7 inches long, but still, definitely very nice. Probably this one, the Microraptor ones are my favorite. But yeah. Now for the Build-A-Raptor sets. Now this is very creative. I mean, like, who doesn't want to make their own raptor? I mean, this is pretty darn cool, and it comes with the choice of if you just want to make, you know, your own version and then color it of, you know, one of the existing raptors, you can. It comes with all the parts to do that, but if you want to make your very own special, like, hybrid raptor thing, your very own personal design, you can also do that as well. I believe this one, the Build-A-Raptor A set, comes with the pieces for the Saggen. I forget the, I've already forgotten the name, I'm very sorry. But the Saggen, the Pyroraptor, the Linoraptor, the Linhoraptor, the Balar, and the Adasaurus. And I also believe the Velociraptor as well, which is definitely very interesting. And then the other set comes with pieces for other raptors. Here is the Build-A-Raptor set B, which comes with the Saur Ornitholestes with both of its crests, the Zhang, the Archaeoraptor, and the Dromaeosaurus. At least I'm pretty sure that's what is included in here. Very nice. Now is for the little nestling raptors. Nothing too special to say about these guys. There are 3 different colorations of these little nestling raptors. The amber ones, the black ones, and the gray ones. Definitely if you want little baby raptors, you know, I mean, by all means get these things. I mean, they're very nice. They are about 3 inches long, so pretty small. Not entirely too small, but definitely small enough to be babies of the bigger figures. There's nothing really too special to say about them. I personally prefer the coloration of the amber ones more. That's just me. But yeah, definitely also pretty good. So anyway, guys, that is the Beast of the Mesozoic lineup. There are a lot of figures coming out. They're all coming out pretty soon. Some of these are already out. I'm pretty sure some of the accessory packs are out. And the Build-A-Raptor sets are already out. So if you want to get those, then by all means, get those. But yeah, so those are my thoughts on them. And that's really all I have to say. Dino Man, out.